Hey there guys, how are you? So currently we are on Steam, just taking a look at some of the reviews for Mortal Kombat 11, and first things first, I want to address that I have been playing this game quite a bit since I got it a few days ago, and as much as I like, the game itself, there are some real problems that, a lot of people face, and first things first, I want to talk to you about the pricing point here because it's 199 ringgit, which translates to about $50. And for a AAA game, I was expecting it to be $60, which is equivalent to about 240 ringgit. And I went to the store to get it, and I'm playing it on the PS4 version, of course. And I asked the guy, is Mortal Kombat 11 available? And it was on the first day, so I was expecting, to be only pre-orders, and I wouldn't get my hands on it because I really didn't want to pre-order this before I kind of saw some of the early reviews, and a lot of it were negatives, but they did touch on how the gameplay and the graphics and all that were excellent. So I thought, why not, just get it, right? And I was expecting to pay about 240 ringgit, but then the guy said it's about 210 ringgit, and I was like, are you sure that's right? Because this was just released today, and I asked him, are you sure you're not talking about Mortal Kombat X, which is Mortal Kombat 10, came out a few years ago, and he showed me the game, and he said, yeah, here it is, Mortal Kombat 11, 210 bucks, and I was like, oh cool. I mean, it's also rather interesting because the game had so much negative reviews that they had to drop the pricing point to that much, and at least I got to save 30 bucks, and I was like, yeah, whatever, okay, fine, you know what, 30 ringgit, sure, why not, right? And premium edition 350 ringgit, which is quite absurd, absolutely absurd. Yeah, so let's take a look at some of the reviews. Just from the first review, not recommended. I want to recommend this as the gameplay is pretty damn solid, but the microtransactions and currency systems are easily the worst I've ever seen in a fighting game, and he is absolutely right. The microtransactions are crazy because if you look up on Reddit or YouTube, if you were to purchase every single skin for all the characters and I think the gears and stuff, it would amount to a whopping $6,000, just over $6,000. Incredibly insane. No fully paid $60 game should have, microtransactions to that pricing point. It is ridiculous. That is a mobile game, right? I mean, we've literally paid the full price of the game, and you're treating us like as if we are playing a mobile game. It is quite frankly ridiculous, and it really is unacceptable. Another thing that really is frustrating is that it is absolutely grindy, and you could win like 20, 30, 40 matches in a row, and your rewards would be quite lacklustering because you would eventually go into the crypt and just spend all your money there only to get garbage. I mean, let's say you love Scorpion, right? And you want to get his skins, maybe his augmentations and stuff like that. It is impossible to get damn near all of his skins without getting skins from other characters. When you spend over 500,000 coins, over a million coins, you still wouldn't get all the skins you want for that certain character. So that is quite frankly ridiculous, and I've seen on Reddit, I've seen on YouTube that you would have to grind for over 3,000 hours to get all the skins and augmentations, but I think it will take longer than that, and it's ridiculous. That's an equivalent to a mobile game. Not sure what the developers were thinking there. Let's see the next one. Not recommended. First of all, great combat, but pretty much everything else is horrible. The monstrosity with the costumes and the grind is a hell on its own. And if you have played the game, you know exactly what this guy means. I 100% agree with everything that he said. It is an extreme grind. It just shouldn't be like this. It is ridiculous. If you can look past it, the gameplay is pretty decent though, not worthy of a positive review with all the love surrounding it. And I agree, it does not deserve a positive review. It has, I think the negatives outweighs the positives, and as good as all the positives are, the negatives are just kind of overwhelming, and the developers really need to fix this as soon as possible, especially with the grinding system. And one of the developers at Boon has said that they are going to fix it probably this week or early next week, especially with the rewarding system. But the thing is, the grinding is still going to be here. It is going to be it is here for the long run. Even after all the complaints, after all the backlash, it is still going to stay here. So yeah, that's that. Another negative comment, and as you can see, it's all negatives. And let's see what the people who gave it a positives have to say. Story mode is good, and for me it's all right. It is sort of cheesy, but that is Mortal Kombat, and I have come to accept it. It is quite short actually. I finished it in 5 or 6 hours, which is really short, and but it's fine. It's a great story mode. It's decent for Mortal Kombat, and yeah, story mode is good. Amount of content is big, and yes, this is definitely a plus point. We have a lot of content, which is great. The online matchmaking is very good. Yeah, it is. I have some laggy issues, but maybe that's just my internet. But yeah, it is quite good. The content grind unlocking is actually pretty fun if you exclude the crazy unblockable nonsense spam that is going to be patched out. He's actually mentioned the grind is crazy, but still gave it a positive review. Not exactly sure what he was thinking there. PC is behind on patches, super annoying for semi-competitive players, has crashes, most notably when recording and playing back the training dummy. And for PS4 players, as long as I've been playing, I haven't had a single encounter with a crash, so that's a huge plus point. If he added that in, then I can see why he gave it a positive review, but not sure why exactly he hasn't given it the negative review with some of his points that he stated. If you enjoy Mortal Kombat, you won't go wrong with this game. Personally, I don't care about the cosmetics being too hard to get, nor do I particularly care about the single player content. The online netcode is pretty good, but has desync issues every now and again. Awesome game, runs smoothly, and the graphics are amazing. Totally worth it, but I think he's kind of ignored the fact about all the grindiness and the reward system. But oh well, every person that plays a game has different opinions. They have different inputs. They look for different things. Maybe some people just want to play the story. Maybe some people just want to play the Towers of Time. I think that's it. Maybe some people just are in it for the awesome graphics or the gameplay, and that's fine. You guys can buy any game you want for your own benefit, whatever it is you guys want. That's totally fine. Recommended. I'll start off by saying that if you are the type of person to focus on cosmetics and find the most enjoyment out of games from collecting things, being a completionist, then this game is not for you. The game is very grindy, and the main source of gathering currency is extremely difficult at the moment. The devs have already come out and said that they will be putting out a patch to address those issues, and everyone will be getting free currency as compensation as a result. And yes, they did promises that we'll be getting about 500,000 coins, 1,000 souls, 1,000 crystals. That stupid bullshit microtransaction, currency. And quite frankly, I don't think that's quite enough, because I can go into a crypt, and in the matter of 10 minutes I can spend about 300,000 coins and about 2,000 souls and get jack shit for the character that I want. And that's really quite ridiculous, because this game revolves around us spending coins and souls on every single thing, whether it's the Towers of Time or the crypt. And I think it's a bit too pricey, especially with the crypt. Some loot boxes, that's what I'm gonna call them, loot boxes. They're priced at 15,000, and then we get pretty much garbage, and that's essentially why players are pissed. And they really need a way for us to get better items. I really hope they do patch this. Why are my dogs barking so loudly? Shit, that's annoying. Alright, let's just get into the final review. A really good game with epic graphics and mechanics. The only thing annoys me that there is only 30 frames per second encrypt for PC users. And about microtransaction, it's K, you can buy stuff if you want to. By the way, don't buy Frost, you'll get her in chapter 4 inside the story mode. I like, yes, do not buy Frost, you can easily get her in the story mode. And quite frankly, the pricing point of Frost in the shop at $6 is ridiculous. $6 translates to about 24 ringgit, and that's it's insane. That's a price of a whole new character, and the fact that they are releasing this DLC and new characters, I'm not up for it. Most people are okay with it because they are whole new characters, but I think if you're paying for a full priced game, you should get every single character. And I think the roster of about 23 characters is a bit little considering the original roster of Mortal Kombat, where I think there's over 50, I guess. And I think we should get at least 40 of them, and then maybe, like, let's say during Halloween or something, you can release your Jason Voorhees, Michael Myers, Freddy Krueger, any one of them, and I think I would be willing to pay $5 for it. Uh, but I still think that $5 is still a bit too expensive for characters, especially since this is a full retail game and this is not a mobile game. But if you want to charge $5 in your mobile game, that's entirely okay with me because the game itself is free and it is, of course, a mobile game. But yeah, you're paying full price for a game. You deserve to have everything unlocked for you. Everything that's on the disc should be at your disposal, not locked away for you to purchase. And more and more modern games are of course doing this, and the biggest culprits are EA, of course, and now NetherRealms and Warner Bros are falling into these microtransactions bullshit. And I mean, it was in MKX as well, but I thought maybe they've learned, and Ed Boon has said that we encourage players not to spend real money on the game. But the way it's looking at the moment with the grindiness and the horrible reward system, um, I think WB and NetherRealms know exactly what they're doing. They're saying that there's no loot boxes and they think that's a win, but in retrospect, they have planned out everything that, they know their intentions. They know exactly what they've done. They have somehow encouraged players, to pay for these things, but then in a way kind of manipulated us into thinking that we aren't tricked into buying these loot boxes because they are unavailable. But we can all see through what these studios are doing, and really it's just one big business tactic. And yeah, I mean, gaming studios these days, all they want is money. And I guess this is what modern gaming has come to, with microtransactions and these stupid political agendas, which is a whole nother topic. But yeah, I mean, all in all, I think my final verdict on MK11 is I don't think you should buy the game unless you just enjoy the fighting mechanics, the graphics. But if you're looking for a rewarding game and a game where you don't have to spend real money to get what you really want, then I think skipping Mortal Kombat 11 is the best option for you. But once again, if you want to buy the game for, let's say, the story or the combat and stuff like that, it's totally up to you. But these are just my opinions, and I just want you guys to know that these microtransactions are really ridiculous, because once again, if you want to get all the items, it's gonna cost you about $6,000, which is oh my god, it's insane. But yeah, it is what it is.